Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going back in time.
That's right. We're visiting the 1950s.
All right. So we are going to the year 1950. And, well, we are going to look at some of the typical and common words and phrases that were used back in that year.
Yes. All of these words and phrases you might still hear today, but they are really a little bit old-fashioned.
All right, so we have some words that we need to look at before we listen to our dialogue. So let's look at these words in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have two words we're going to hear in the dialogue. The first one, sock hop.
Sock hop.
A sock hop.
Okay, now this is very old-fashioned and probably not used anymore.
No, not used anymore. But a sock hop is a school dance.
Okay, so all the kids after school would get together and dance rock and roll in the gym or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And, well, it's very popular and very common among American culture in those days.
Yes, in 1950.
So you would still maybe see this in a movie or something like that.
Yep.
And our second word is still used today. Sadie Hawkins dance.
A Sadie Hawkins dance.
All right, a Sadie Hawkins dance.
So a Sadie Hawkins dance is a dance when the girls ask the guys to be their date.
Okay, so it's a party and the guys don't invite the girls.
No, the girls invite the guys.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a reverse of roles there.
Yes.
That's interesting. So in this case, the girls have to come up to the guys and say, hey, do you want to go to the dance with me?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So this still happens today in North America, so you will probably hear it sometime. And I guess now we could listen to our dialogue for the first time, and it takes place at a high school.
Hey, Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen, you want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also.
Oh, right. So when are you going to ask me? I've had my eye on you for a while.
Hey, buddy, ease off my girl, man. Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, pipsqueak.
All right, so a little bit of a discussion over a girl, very common as well.
Yes, yep.
So we're going to be looking at some of these words that were maybe a little bit difficult in the dialogue in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Well, we've got 5 phrases and words from the dialogue. Now, the first thing we heard was Sandy said, heya.
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 All right. Now, an interjection, a way of saying hi, but very old-fashioned. Heya.
Yep. Basically, hi, you.
Or hey, you.
Yep.
Okay, so heya. I guess you would still use it today, though, right?
Yeah, it's still a normal way to greet someone.
All right. Very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what about our second word?
Well, Sandy asks Tracy, how are you? And Tracy replies, I'm swell.
I'm swell.
Swell.
I'm just swell.
When you are swell, you are great.
You're great. And again, swell is an old-fashioned way of saying I'm good or I'm great, but you would still hear it.
Yes. And it also is used to describe things. That was a swell party.
Okay, swell.
Yep.
All right, now for our next word. They got into a fight, and Tracy said, cool it, guys.
Cool it.
Cool it.
Cool it.
So why don't we listen to some examples of cool it before we explain it?
Example 1. Just cool it. Now is not the right time to get angry. Example 2. You need to cool it and stop yelling at me. Example 3. Don't cry, Pam. Just cool it. You will be okay.
All right, so cool it, guys. Basically, it means
relax.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Don't get into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is one my dad used to say to me and my sisters all the time. Cool it, kids. Stop fighting.
Very good. So it is still very commonly used, I would say.
Yep.
All right. Now for our last 2 words. These are a little bit more old-fashioned.
Yes, straight from 1952. They talk about a knuckle sandwich.
All right. He says, do you want a knuckle sandwich?
A knuckle sandwich. What are we talking about here?
All right. Well, on your hand,
Yeah.
you have above your fingers, you have your knuckles.
Okay, so those are the bumpy parts on my hand.
The bones on the top part of your hand. So he's basically saying, do you want me to punch you? Right? Do you want me to hit you with my hand, with my fist? So it's a very informal way of saying a punch, knuckle sandwich.
I'll give you a knuckle sandwich.
Right. And for our last word, Tommy called Sandy a pipsqueak.
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 A pipsqueak.
Now, this is kind of an insult, but again, very old-fashioned.
Yes.
A pipsqueak is a very small person, right?
A small person who is not strong.
Okay.
Or not powerful.
So a small and weak person. Pipsqueak. I guess nowadays you can still call somebody pipsqueak, but maybe in a lighter sense.
It would be a little bit funny to call someone a pipsqueak.
Okay. So a pipsqueak. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again? We're going to slow it down a little bit so you can get all these words that we just looked at, and then we'll come back and look at some phrases.
Hey, Tracy. How are you doing?
I'm swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen. You want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also...
Oh, right. So, when are you going to ask me? I've had my eye on you for a while. Hey, buddy. Ease off my girl, man. Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, pipsqueak.
Okay, so that was a little bit easier to understand, but some great 50s style phrases and words. So why don't we look at some of these phrases now in Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
All right, on Fluency Builder today, we're going to look at 3 phrases. Why don't we start with the first one? Sandy said that the party will be a blast.
It'll be a blast.
It'll be a blast.
To be a blast.
So if something is a blast, it's very fun. It's entertaining.
Yes, really, really fun.
Okay, so the party was a blast.
I had a great time last night. It was a blast.
Okay, very good. So very fun times.
Yep. And you'll still hear this phrase used today. Now the next one. So Sandy said he had his eye on Tracy.
He said, I've had my eye on you.
To have your eye on someone.
So if I have my eye on the new iPhone that came out.
You are watching it carefully because you want it.
Okay, so I'm keeping my attention on it because I want it.
I have my eye on that sweater because it's on sale.
Okay, so you really want that sweater.
Yep.
All right. So to have your eye on something or on someone, right? And for our last phrase, Tommy told Sandy, hey, buddy, ease off my girl.
Ease off.
Ease off.
Ease off.
All right, so why don't we listen to some examples of how we could use ease off, because it might be a little bit tricky, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Example 1.
You need to ease off the junk food.
Example 2. Matt is putting so much pressure on me these days. I wish he would ease off. Example 3.
You're pushing Susie too much. You need to ease off a bit.
Okay, so it looks like you say this phrase, ease off, when somebody is putting pressure on you or doing something to you that they shouldn't.
Right. Maybe they're being too intense or maybe annoying you. So you tell them, hey, ease off.
Yeah, relax, stay back.
Stay away. Very good. So ease off my girlfriend.
Ease off the fatty foods.
All right. So take it easy. Stay away from.
Yep.
Okay, so some great phrases there. I think it's a good idea for us to listen to our dialogue one more time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the 1950s.
Hey, Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen. You want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also...
Oh, right. So when are you going to ask me? I've had my eye on you for a while.
Hey, buddy, ease off my girl, man. Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, Pipsqueak.
Okay, so the 1950s, a nice era, and this is the first of a small series that we're going to have of different words and phrases that were used back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, etc.
That's right. So a little bit more time travel is coming up here in English Pod.
Exactly, because a lot of these phrases are still used, and you might even see them in movies, or if you're talking to somebody that was maybe born in these eras, they might even still use them today.
That's right. So do you guys know any English phrases or slangs from the 1950s? Why don't you visit our website at englishpod.com to tell us about it?
All right, we'll see you guys there. And also, if you have questions or comments, please leave them on the comments section as well.
Well, thanks for listening, and until next time,
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going back in time again. And this time we're going to be in the 1960s.
That's right. We're going to learn some phrases and some slang that were really popular back in 1964.
Exactly. And most of these phrases and words we still use today. So it's very interesting and very good to know.
That's right. I'm looking forward to this trip back in time. So why don't we get started with the dialogue?
Hey man, I really like your pad. Those lava lamps are far out. Thanks for letting me crash here tonight.
It's no problem, brother. I wanted a pad where people could come, listen to music, and just hang loose. You dig what I'm saying?
I dig it, man. We should throw a bash here and make it really happening scene.
Yeah, man, that would be groovy. Hey, I got to split for a while. Are you okay here by yourself?
Don't worry about me, brother. You go take care of your business.
All right, peace out.
All right, so great dialogue, very popular in the 60s, the music, the mood, and the words, right?
That's right.
So why don't we get down to business and look at the vocabulary that we saw in this dialogue in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Well, the dialogue opened and we heard this guy say, "Hey man, I really like your pad."
I really like your pad.
Pad.
Okay, so pad, a very informal way of saying
Your apartment.
your apartment, right? And now you can still use it today.
Yeah, that's right. We often hear the expression bachelor pad.
Okay, a bachelor pad.
So that's an apartment where a single man lives.
Okay, so a bachelor pad. Usually it's very nicely decorated and really a nice apartment, right?
Or maybe it has empty pizza boxes all over the floor, Marco.
Also a bachelor pad.
Yeah.
But so that's what pad means, an apartment.
Yep.
They were talking about the apartment and he said the lava lamps are far out.
Far out.
Okay, it's far out.
So that's really cool or amazing.
Right. And now lava lamps, those are those strange cone-looking lamps, right?
Kind of a light with like some liquid moving inside.
Moving inside. Very
Yeah.
popular in the 60s.
Yeah, we'll post some pictures of that.
Yeah. And the lamps are far out. So now you can use that with other things, right? Like you are really far out.
Yeah, or this music is really far out.
Okay.
It kind of gives you the feeling like it's sort of spacey.
Spacey.
Yeah.
All right. So the pad is really far out. The lava lamps are great. And he was saying, thanks for letting me crash here tonight.
To crash.
So to crash at someone's place.
Right. So we're not talking about like a car crash here.
No.
But so when you crash somewhere, what do you do?
Well, you are staying there, then you're going to stay there.
So you're
as
gonna,
a guest.
Yeah. So like sleep, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep. And for free.
For free, yes.
Yes.
So if, for example, you're going to New York and you're going to visit a friend, you might crash at your friend's house.
That's right. So interesting word. And it is quite commonly used now. So why don't we hear some examples of how we can use it?
Example 1.
Hey man, can I crash at your place tonight?
Example 2. I lost my keys, so I'm crashing at my girlfriend's house. Example 3.
No, you've been sleeping on my couch for a month. You're not going to crash here tonight.
All right, perfect. So to crash, right? It's still commonly used today.
Yep.
Now for the fourth word, groovy.
Groovy.
That would be groovy.
So again, this means like great or cool or really nice.
Yeah, I think this is one of the main words of the 1960s. Something was groovy.
Yes, I agree. So it kind of gives you the sense that it's sort of really cool, but in a relaxed way.
Yeah, it's groovy. This music is really groovy.
That's right.
And finally, his friend, he said, hey, I got to split for a while.
To split,
Okay, so if I say I have to split,
you have to leave.
I have to leave.
Yep.
Very colloquial, and it means I have to leave for a little bit.
Yep.
Split for a while.
That's right. You may not have heard this one before, so why don't we hear some examples to help you understand how it's used?
Example 1.
Hurry up! We've got to split before the police get here!
Example 2.
This party is boring. Let's split.
Example 3.
I have to wake up early tomorrow, so we're going to split.
Okay, very good. So split. Now also I think you can use it for relationships, right? Me and him, me and her, me and her split up.
That's right. So you ended your relationship.
Yeah, split. Okay, so we saw 5 really common phrases from the 1960s. Let's listen to the dialogue again a little bit slower, and then we'll come back and look at some phrases from the 60s.
Hey man, I really like your pad. Those lava lamps are far out. Thanks for letting me crash here tonight.
It's no problem, brother. I wanted a pad where people could come, listen to music, and just hang loose. You dig what I'm saying?
I dig it, man. We could throw a bash here and make it a really happening scene.
Yeah, man, that would be groovy. Hey, I got to split for a while. Are you okay here by yourself?
Don't worry about me, brother. You go take care of your business.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Well, I want to get started at looking at these 1960s slang phrases. So let's go now with putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, I'm putting it together today. Let's start with the first part. He talked about, you dig what I'm saying.
I dig it, man.
You dig what I'm saying?
To dig it.
All right. So we know the verb dig, which means to make a hole, right?
Yeah.
But now he's talking about understand.
Yeah. Basically, you dig what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And when he says, I dig it, he says, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's also another meaning to this, right? Apart from understand.
Yeah. It can also mean I like it.
Okay. So I really dig this type of music.
Or I really dig this restaurant.
Okay. So it's kind of, I like it. All right. Now, moving on. He said, we could throw a bash here.
All right. Throw a bash.
To throw a bash.
So first of all, what is a bash?
A bash is a party.
A really great party.
An amazing party.
Now, I want to look at this verb to throw something. So
Okay.
we know that you throw a ball, right?
Right.
But how can you throw a party?
Well, it's basically saying you organize or you host a party.
Okay. And how can you use this phrase?
Okay, so I can say, last week I threw a birthday party in my house.
Okay. Or let's throw a bash to celebrate your engagement.
Okay. Or next week I'm going to throw a dinner party at my house.
Okay. So to throw a party. And it's usually used for parties, right?
Right. You wouldn't throw a
meeting.
All right.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Okay. So now we heard them use the word man a lot, right? Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this is so common, even in modern English, that I think we need some examples.
Example 1.
Hey man, watch where you're going.
Example 2.
Yeah, man, that's a great idea.
Example 3.
Man, that was awesome.
So man is one of those words that you just use at the end of your sentences.
Or the beginning.
Or the beginning.
Anywhere.
And so you say, hey man, or yeah man.
Yeah. But what about, do you have to be a man to use it? Or do you have to be talking to a man to use it?
No, not really. Men and women use the word man.
Yeah.
And you can call a girl like, hey man, how are you?
Yeah, but that sort of means that she's a really, really good friend, like the same level of friend as your guy friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Very good. And now for the last phrase, I'm putting it together. He said, you go take care of business.
To take care of business.
Okay, so I have to take care of business.
So we're not really talking about business and work here, are we?
No. So basically what we're saying is go handle your affairs.
So do the things you have to do.
Okay. So, or solve your problem. So if I say, I have to go to City Hall today and take care of some business.
So you're maybe going to do something like
pay my taxes or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So to take care of business.
Okay. So we heard some great phrases. We saw these words. Let's listen to the dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk about this great decade.
Hey man, I really like your pad. Those lava lamps are far out. Thanks for letting me crash here tonight.
It's no problem, brother. I wanted a pad where people could come, listen to music, and just hang loose. You dig what I'm saying?
I dig it, man. We should throw a bash here and make it really happening scene.
Yeah, man, that would be groovy. Hey, I got to split for a while. Are you okay here by yourself?
Don't worry about me, brother. You go take care of your business.
All right, peace out.
All right, so 1960s, very famous among rock music, the peace and conflicts and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess in English or Anglo pop culture, we look back at this decade very fondly.
Yeah, and also we really relate it to the hippie movement, right?
Yeah.
People with long hair and baggy clothes and, living in their cars, going from concert to concert.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of music, I think if we think 1960s, at least in Anglo world, in the Anglo world, we think of the best music. Like, I think this is the golden age of music in English speaking countries.
Yes, it was a very good era. And well, what do you guys think? Do you think the 60s was the best decade, or maybe you are more fond of the 70s, the disco era?
Or even the 90s. There's some pretty good music in 1994.
Exactly. So come to our website and let us know what you think. And also if you have any questions or comments.
Marco and I are always around to answer your questions. So thanks for downloading, and until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.